Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. This is our latest series. It's a practice called Uncrunch Yourself. So this is for my friends who are seated and all day long and just need a little movement break, maybe to complement your other movement practices, or maybe just a 15 or 10, 15 minutes for yourself. So this first class is centered on stretching and opening up lower back. We're gonna get started in child's pose. So how to make your way there, you'll take your hands down onto the ground, bring your knees wide apart, and then bring your big toes to touch. You'll first start by sinking your hips back to your heels. Your lower back and knees will tell you if that's too much. If it is, bring your knees in slightly. If not, you can take your knees out wide and then bring your arms out in front of you and let your forehead touch the mat. If your forehead doesn't touch the mat, don't worry about it. We just want to let the head, we want to allow the head to hang here. So I want you just to take a big breath in through your nose. And then exhale and let it all go. Bring more attention to your breath. Inhale, feel your ribs start to expand out to the sides, maybe even a puff of breath into your lower back. Now as you exhale, start to press your hips gently towards your heel bones and push all the air out of your lungs. So get to the very bottom of that exhale. We just have one more breath in stillness. Inhale, feel the ribs expand out to the sides, low back might even puff up slightly. And then exhale, you work on sinking hips back towards your heel bones. Next, inhale, just gently lift your head, look forward. We're gonna lift halfway out of this. You'll walk your hands over to the left. Right hand lands on top of the left. You can lace your fingers, square your right shoulder down, pull your right hip back. And then we wanna drop the head between the biceps. Bright breath in. Exhale, square your right shoulder down as you pull your right hip back. Breathe through that sensation. One more inhale. And exhale, pull right hip back as you square the shoulder down. Inhale, lift your gaze. We're gonna walk all the way over to the other side so you can lift your hips slightly, left hand on top of right, lace your fingers so you can like pull on the hand, and then pull your left hip back as you square your left shoulder down. Inhale, you might lift your chest and your hips slightly. Exhale, we work on pulling the hips back. One more time, inhale, you rise. Exhale, sink weight back towards your heel bones. Inhale back to center. We're gonna glide forward and you'll bring your knees in so that your shins are parallel. Your hands will come underneath your shoulders. So just make sure you're set up properly there and it feels like you're balanced, like your shoulders over your wrist, your knees underneath your hips. Inhale, begin to just tilt your tailbone upward and draw your shoulder blades together. So this is called cow. Exhale, we want to round through the lower back, then the mid back and upper back. And what tends to happen is the shoulders want to pull back here. Try to bring them forward and then squeeze your thumbs towards the midline. You might quiver a little bit, that's okay. Inhale, tilt your tailbone upward, draw shoulder blades together. Exhale and round your spine. Inhale, find a neutral tabletop. Pull your hips over to the left and then sink them over to the right and glide forward. So these are hip circles. Just listen to your body as you take these. You don't have to make them too big if your hips are like, please don't do that. Just listen, and then we're gonna switch directions. So hips sink over to the right. It's more like an organic movement, just to kind of feel your range of motion. And one more big hip circle over to the right, then to the left, and then glide shoulders over your wrists. We're gonna come into downward facing dog now. So tuck your toes, you're gonna hover your knees off of the mat, poke your butt up, and then start to pull your hips back. And for those of you with really tight hamstrings, I encourage you to bend your knees. Even if they're not super tight, see what that feels like. When you bend your knees, you have a little bit more space to lift and find that stretch in the back. And that's really the primary purpose of downward facing dog, is to get that stretch in the back. Secondarily, we're getting the stretch in the hamstrings. Now take a moment just to breathe in your downward facing dog, feeling your hands push down into the mat and your feet pushing in and trying to find some resistance there with hands and feet. Now, as you take your next inhale, you're gonna bend that left knee, straighten the right leg, maybe even look underneath your right armpit. Exhale, drop your head. Inhale, glide back through center, so adding a little bend to both knees. We're gonna pull the left hip back and bend that right knee. Push into your hands actively here. One more inhale, we're really trying to swivel the left hip back. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, shrug your shoulders up to your ears and then drop your head. Inhale, shoulders shrug up. Exhale and let it go. Inhale, look forward to your hands and then just gently start to walk your feet up to your hands. So just like mosey up there. You might feel a lot on your way, so just breathe into what you feel and then take your feet a little wider than your hips. You're gonna bend your knees and push your chest towards your thighs. If your chest does not touch your thighs, don't worry about it. Grab a hold of opposite hand and opposite elbow. It's about finding that movement energetically. And then you can take a gentle rock from side to side. You might feel some sensation on the outer hips and maybe even the inner thighs here. Now work on dropping your head and finding a release on your exhale. So when you do take that exhale, try to get to the very bottom of your breath. One more inhale. And let it go. Next inhale, we're gonna place the hands down onto the ground or onto blocks if you're using blocks. You're gonna take a halfway lift and fold all the way back down. Step your right foot back behind you. Bend your right knee, gently kiss it down to the ground and untuck your right toes. Pause with your left knee over your left ankle and we're gonna come into this low lunge and then you'll rise your arms upward. We wanna draw low ribs in, even squeeze right glute to control through through your hips. Stretch your arms out to a T and then you'll twist over to the left side of the room. Take your left hand, dip it down, and stretch your right arm up. And what I want you to do is find length in that right side. So I don't care how far you go, and we just want to find that sensation to lift out of the right waist. One more inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Tuck your right toes, elevate your right knee. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Come into a high plank. Exhale, pike your hips up, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Huge breath out. Drop your head. Inhale, look forward to your hands. Exhale, 2 big steps up to your hands. Come into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Feel your soles of your feet grounding into the mat as you finish out that exhale. Step your right foot back behind you. No, don't do that. Bring that right foot in. Step your left foot back behind you. Bend your left knee and then gently kiss your left knee down to the ground. Untuck your left toes. Walk your hands onto your right thigh. So just support yourself first. Make sure your knee's over your ankle. Push down into the foot. Then stretch your arms up. Knit your low ribs in, squeeze your left glute. So it's gonna feel like work in the lower body. Take your arms out to the sides and then twist. So that right arm's gonna reach back, left arm reaches forward. We're gonna start to dip that right hand down. Maybe you touch your left thigh and then we're gonna lift out of the left waist. Big breath in here. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Tuck your left toes, elevate your left knee. Now push into the hands to pull the right leg back. Downward facing dog, hips rise high. Exhale, roll out to a high plank position. One more time. Inhale, we pull the hips up. Exhale and step the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, feel the soles of your feet ground. Inhale, halfway, step that right foot back behind you. Right knee touches the mat. Inhale, stretch your arms upward. Exhale, take your arms out to a T. Inhale, take the twist. Exhale, dip it down. Inhale, cartwheel your hands down. Exhale, tuck your right toes, pull up. Now, you're gonna look at your right foot, seal your right heel down to the ground. This is how your feet are going to look in Warrior Two. We're gonna press into that left foot and stretch your arms out wide apart from one another. And then from here, we wanna make sure that we're not laying into the back of the right knee too much, so you can always add a little bend to that right knee and turn the toes in slightly. I want you to take that bend into the left knee over left ankle, and then we're gonna stretch this out here. So you'll lift your arms up. Exhale, left forearm, left thigh, stretch right arm up and overhead. Now you can look up to the right hand here. If that feels like way too much for your neck, just look out to the right side of the room. Then push into that right foot and see maybe if you can reach the right arm a little bit higher or towards the front of the room. One more inhale. And exhale, inhale, rise up. Now we exalt it, so that right hand's gonna stretch back. You're gonna lift out of the left waist. So we don't wanna just kind of like lay into it. We wanna lift and then lean back. One more inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Roll up onto that right big toe mound. A little bit of balance here. Walk the hands forward. Lift that right leg up and back. Now exhale, crunch the right knee behind your left. Stay with me. We just have two more of these guys. Inhale, extend. Exhale and crunch it. One more time, extend on out. Exhale, crunch. Maybe you work balance here. Left hand, heart center. Then right hand, heart center. Big breath in. Exhale, hands down, right leg comes up. Exhale, step your right foot back behind you. Pull your left leg back. You're back in that high plank position. Now lower your knees down, untuck your toes, lie all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, loop your shoulders back, push into the tops of your feet, lift your heart, come into baby cobra. Exhale and lower. Now this time we're gonna add a little bit more strength. Inhale, push into the tops of your feet, lift your hands, draw your elbows in by your hips. Exhale and lower down. Tuck your toes, press yourself up, high plank, pull back, downward facing dog, big breath in. Exhale, pull those hips back. Inhale, look to your hands. Exhale, step forward. Inhale's your halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway. So when you lift halfway, I want you to kind of brace your core slightly so that you can step your left foot back with control. So we use the strength of the core to control those legs. Bend that left knee down, touch it down to the mat. Inhale, stretch your arms upward. Exhale, arms out to a T. Inhale, brace that core. Now twist over to the right, drop your right hand down, lift, lengthen out of that left side. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down to the ground, tuck your left toes, elevate your left knee, seal your left heel down to the ground, push into the left foot, push into the right toes, and then rise up, Warrior Two. Inhale, lift out of the waist. Exhale, right forearm, right thigh, stretch your left arm up and overhead. So it's very easy to kind of dump into this. I did this a lot when I first started practicing yoga because you're already tired, but we want to lift and then stretch the left arm forward. Find that balance. Bright breath in. Push into your right foot. Inhale. Now we'll exalt it. So that left hand's gonna lean back. You're gonna lift and then lean back. So I don't care how far you go. You wanna think about finding space in that right side. Inhale here. Exhale, big cartwheel, hands down to the ground. You're gonna bend into that right knee. We're gonna lift the left leg up and back behind you. Now start to work the muscles around your left leg. So we want a firm muscle around thigh. Look forward. Exhale, left knee behind the right. Crouch down, get low. Inhale, extend. You have two more. Exhale, get low. Extend. Last one, as low as you can go, as long as your heel stays on the ground. Take your left hand to heart center and then right, brace your core. Big breath in. Exhale, hands come down, left leg extends, land the left toes behind you, pull your right leg back. Come into a high plank. Exhale, lower your knees down, untuck your toes, lie all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, loop your shoulders back, lift up, baby cobra to start. Exhale, lower down. Now, option here, lift your hands up off of the ground, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, lift your hands, lift your legs, maybe extend your arms as you open your chest. Big breath in. Exhale, hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, press yourself up, high plank, bring it all the way back, downward facing dog. Huge breath in through your nose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look to your hands, step your feet up, forward. Inhale's your halfway lift. Exhale, you bow down. Inhale, halfway lift, right leg extends back. You go right into warrior two. Right heel seals down, you open up warrior two. Bend deeper into that front knee. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, forearm to thigh, reach and stretch. Big breath in here. Exhale, exalt it, reach back. Cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Roll up onto that left big toe mound. Extend right leg. Now from here, we're gonna add a little bend into that left knee, that standing knee. And then brace your core. Take your left hand to heart center. And then your right, extend. We add a little twist. Right elbow to that left knee. Inhale, center. You have two more. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Last one. Add that twist. Inhale, center. Now, start to extend your arms forward. Take them down by your sides. Like you're lifting from that right glute. Lace your hands behind your lower back. Puff your chest forward. Big breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. You step it back into your downward facing dog. Roll out high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your bellies. Inhale, take the back bend of your choice. Maybe you lift your arms and your legs back behind you. Exhale and lower down, tuck your toes, pull back, downward facing dog. Last flow, here we go. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step forward to your hands, forward fold. Inhale's your halfway lift. Exhale, you bow. Left foot steps back behind you. Now you go right into warrior two. So we're gonna seal the foot down and open, stretch out. Lift out of your waist. Take that right forearm to right thigh, reach your left arm overhead. Now push into your right foot so you have strength there in that right leg to pull you back and find length in that right side body. Big breath in here. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Bend a little deeper into that right knee and lift your left leg. Walk your hands forward. Now we're gonna brace the core here. When you brace your core, you might get a little lighter. Take your left hand to heart center and then right. Extend through the crown of your head. Now we take that twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Puff back through center. Let's go. Take it down. Bring it up one more time. Bring your left elbow to that right knee. Back to center, plant your hands to the mat. Step your left foot back. And then your right, downward facing dog. Last flow, round your spine out, high plank, knees down, lie all the way down onto your backs. Inhale, back bend of your choice, lift. Exhale and lower, tuck your toes. Press it back, child's pose. Sink those hips back, just like how we started. Big breath in, and a huge breath out. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift your gaze, walk your hands back to your knees. Thank yourself for showing up. I thank all of you for being here, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next week.